Okay, so when your palm sander is worn out and the hook pad will no longer hold your sandpaper disc in place, we can refurbish it very easily and apply one of our replacement hook pads, which has a 3mm foam backing and is self-adhesive on the back. So the first thing you need to do is remove the old hook pad. So if we try and just peel that off in one piece, like so, comes away quite easily. We can use that as our template to produce our new hook pad before we fit it onto the palm sander. So now we need to clean up the base of our palm sander. First of all, let's put some old newspaper in place because it's a little bit of a messy operation. You can use a paint scraper, or if you prefer, you can use a chisel, but of course be careful because the chisel point is very sharp. So we need to carefully scrape off the old foam from our hook pad. Take your time and gently scrape the old foam pad off. Can be quite a messy operation, but it's relatively straightforward. It's just a little bit time consuming. And scrape it away like so. And that's the bulk of the foam backing now gone from the base of the sanding machine. Clean it up a little bit more, just to make sure we get as much of it off as possible. And the cleaner it is, the better. The new one will stick obviously in place. That's pretty good. Now you'll notice that there are some little screw heads here that are protruding from the actual base plate, but those will sink quite readily into the foam backing of our replacement pad when we put it on, so that's no problem. If you want to use dust extraction, then obviously we recommend cutting out the holes or slots in your replacement pad to facilitate the extraction of dust into the dust collector on the back of your machine. It's not entirely necessary. You can operate the device quite easily without those dust extractor holes, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to show you how to produce the slots and holes in the hook pad. So just put the device to one side for a moment. If you were able to take off your old pad in one piece, you can then lay over the old pad over the new hook pad, and then if we take a pencil, we can then mark the positions of the slots, all the holes, through the old pad onto the new one. Just take your time here again and make sure that you get the slots marked on in an accurate position. Go over each one a couple of times and that gives you a nice clear picture. Now you can do the outside of your hook pad to make sure that it's the right size for your machine. That's a little bit worn at the front, that old pad, so I'll allow for that. Leave a little bit extra on there. And make sure you go all the way around at least once. Better to go twice, so you definitely have your markings in place. Take that off now, and hopefully the camera will pick up the outline of the slots and the profile on the outside of the hook pad. Now if you don't want to put the slots into your hook pad, new hook pad, you can simply line up the new pad over your machine and then mark it on the back with your pencil and then cut round your line, and that'll fit perfectly onto the base of your machine. So if we now take some sharp scissors, we can cut along the line that we've created there, go around, the whole of the outside profile. It may be difficult to see my pencil line on the camera, but I can see it quite nicely here. And now we'll use a sharp craft knife or hobby knife to cut out the slots. Just follow the pencil lines that we created earlier, and I'll show you how easy that was to cut out. And there it is. There's the first of your slots. We'll do one more so you can see how it works. Just cut along the line, take your time, get a nice accurate cut along your pencil line. Just take that one out. There's your second one. Now that I've started, I may as well finish it. So cut these out quickly. So next one. And that one. And then across that way. It does cut very easily, the hook and loop pad, and you're going through the 3mm foam backing and the backing paper at the same time. But it's very straightforward to do. Just a matter of taking your time, being as accurate as you can, and that will then line up nicely with your sanding machine. Last one. And that's that one done. So that's the hook pad complete now and ready to go back onto your machine. So before we finally place it on the machine and stick it back in place, what we recommend is get a bit of sandpaper. This is just 240 grit sandpaper, 180 grit sandpaper, which is about the right sort of grade for the purpose, and we're going to just sand off some of that debris just to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll give it a wipe with our microfiber cloth, which is slightly damp, and allow it to dry for 5 or 10 minutes before placing the new pad onto the device. So, let me set the line slightly there. Got it. Let's check our fit, and that is a very good fit on our machine. So I'm confident that that's going to fit it perfectly once you've taken the backing off the hook pad. So now you simply peel the paper off the back, and our hook pads have a very, very high performance sticky backing, so that there is no chance of it coming off your machine inadvertently while you're actually sanding. So there it is, a very sticky back to the hook pad, and that's now ready to go onto the device. So carefully line up the slots and the actual hook pad on the device, and starting from the centre, push down and work outwards, making sure that it's perfectly lined up. And that is the new hook pad in place and ready to use. It really is as simple as that. You can produce the new hook pad in under 5 minutes and you're good to go. But we do recommend having several of these hook pads in your stock so that you're ready to change it when you need to. I get through probably one of these hook pads in about 4 or 5 window frames if I'm sanding right back to the wood. So it's always useful to have some of these in stock ready to go so that you haven't got to stop your DIY job. And that is it. So if you want to get some of our high performance hook pads, if you go to our website, it's www.craftyproducts.co.uk. We also sell on eBay as BMX18991, that's our seller ID, and they're also available on Etsy. So look out for our hook pads, and these are the ones with the 3mm foam backing. Very high performance, long lasting, and very, very useful addition to your sanding machine. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Take care.